Christopher Pyne and Anthony Albanese join us now. Good morning to you both.
Morning,
nice
Carl.
to see you.
Good
Christopher,
morning.
Tony Abbott called a tobacco tax a workers' tax, but it's going up regardless, right?
Well, the budget will reveal all the decisions around taxation
It's
and
in the paper
spending
today.
on May the 3rd. Labor's policy is to increase the tobacco tax. Our policy will be announced in a couple of weeks.
You're going to do what Labor proposed, though, yeah?
Well, Labor proposed a massive hike in the tobacco tax. What exactly is it, Anthony? It's about double, I think. You wanted to double it.
Poor old
the tobacco
Christopher
tax.
doesn't realise that he's the government.
Yeah.
So they want to double the tobacco tax. I don't know exactly what the budget says at this stage, but I'll know, obviously, before May the 3rd, and all will be revealed.
But
I'm not going to
like the
speculate.
idea. You like the idea of increasing the tobacco tax.
We have very high tobacco taxes, but we also have found, as a Minister for Health in the Howard government, I was the Assistant Minister for Health from the Howard government, one of the most significant ways of reducing health costs is to reduce the number of smokers. It makes a direct impact on the cost to health to the rest of the community.
So it's in all the papers today. You can confirm it for us, yeah?
I'm not doing
any
that.
other taxes going
No,
up?
I'm not doing
I think he has.
I haven't, and I'm not going to do that, and you'll know in the budget.
Any other taxes going up? Any
You'll
new
know that in the budget.
Any new taxes?
You don't have to wait very long.
Can you rule something out?
I'm not ruling in, ruling out.
This is
Well, ruling in
the
or
only
ruling out?
government that's ever been in opposition for its entire 3 years.
Your zingers are getting very old. They're very old. You've tried that one before.
You've just been there.
Now,
Every
Bill's-
time you get asked the question, you talk
Bill's
about
dropped
Labor.
his zingers.
See if
He's
you
dropped
can
the
say, government will. The
You're the
government
only
will.
person
See
who's
how you
still
go.
trying the zingers.
Yeah. You like Labor's policy, though, on tobacco.
I'm not going to get drawn.
We also, we're in serious danger of losing our AAA credit rating. That is a big concern.
Well, the biggest threat to our AAA credit rating is the election of a Labor government, because they want to increase taxes, they want to increase spending, they want to smash negative gearing, they want to put up rents, they want to reduce house prices, they want to increase the capital gains tax by 50%, hurting investment.
The biggest threat
the biggest
to,
threat
with
to our
respect,
credit rating is a Labor government
The biggest
being
threat
elected.
to credit rating is the national debt.
When Labor wants to add to it with higher taxes and more spending.
Okay.
They haven't learned any of the lessons from the Rudd-Gillard-Rudd period.
OK, let's take a look at the national debt. There it is right there. OK, it just keeps going on and on and on, nearly $10 million an hour. Anthony, how are you going to reduce that debt?
Well, what we won't do is just talk about, if we come into government, just talk about it as if we're still the opposition. I mean, Christopher was just asked what he was going to do in the budget, and he just spoke about Labor. It's about time. They have 2 weeks to get their act together to bring down a budget. What that should do is have a path in terms of how they deal with debt. They talked about it, but they've doubled it. That's the truth since they were in government. And what they're talking about now is keeping the cuts to
What are you gonna
education
do
and
about it?
health.
That's what he asked.
Keeping the cut. Well, what we won't do is cut education and health and give
So you won't do anything
companies,
about it?
the big end of town, a tax cut.
You're promising
That's what we won't do.
You are promising huge spending measures. According to The Australian, they will wipe $400 billion from the budget bottom line.
Well, that's nonsense, of course. All of our spending commitments, including our commitment to spend $37 billion over 10 years on giving kids a better opportunity through education, through schools funding, doing what they said they would do at the last election, it must be said, fully costed, fully funded. We've said where the money's coming from. That's a good thing, unlike other
More taxes,
oppositions in the past.
more spending.
Well, you're doing the tobacco tax. You're increasing that, so you can't really...
If we have tax savings in the budget, they obviously have to be offsetting.
Well, we've got savings there as well.
Okay,
of
well,
course.
when will you get-
savings like
when will
getting
you-
rid of their ridiculous
They use the
direct
same
action
dollar
plan
over and over
on
again,
climate
the
change.
new spending
if you get into power on July 2...
July 2. We can confirm that
how
today,
long will it be-
Carl.
How long will
Whenever
it-
the election's called.
He didn't say
We can
no.
confirm that.
I did. I said whenever the election's called.
On May
It'll be
11.
July 2.
Stop putting words
When
in
it's
my
called
mouth.
on May 11 for
Well,
July
where's
2.
that?
anything.
Yeah, where's that?
He's
It's
gonna
being
say it for you.
announced here, live on the Today Show.
When will you get the budget back in the black?
Well, what we've said...
No. Just give us a date.
I'm not
They don't
going
care.
to... I'm not
2022.
going to put a date on it. What we know is that under this mob, they said they'd deal with it, and it's doubled.
So he said before that I'd never stop talking about the Labor Party. He hasn't stopped talking about
But you're
me.
the government.
He's obsessed with me.
You're the government.
He's obsessed with talking
It's
about
not
me.
personal, Christopher. The whole government
And one
is
thing's for
hopeless.
sure, Carl, Labor governments
You're one of the better ones.
Labor governments never get the budget into black. Ever.
That's why they put
Labor
you on this
budgets
show,
never
Christopher.
deliver. The last surplus budget a Labor government delivered was 1989.
That is true.
Before Wyatt Roy was born.
You couldn't
That
put...
is true.
There was something called the global financial crisis.
Oh, yeah, no, it's never
that
your
we
fault.
dealt
The
with.
dog
That
ate
was a
my
long way to go.
homework.
That we dealt with.
The tram got
and
a flat
kept people
tyre.
in jobs.
How many more excuses do you have?
This mob, unemployment's higher, debt's higher. It's a mess.
Are you obsessed with him?
obsessed with me.
No.
Okay.
Well, at least we talked, though, unlike Malcolm Turnbull and Scott Morrison.
Oh,
understand.
trying that line again. Goodness, you
How'd they
just
go,
tried
those
that
two?
last week. They're
They going right?
besties.
They're still
besties.
They're doing very
Okay,
well.
They
Malcolm
haven't
Turnbull.
spoken in the last
No,
week.
I know.
though.
Oh, rubbish.
Anyway, it's all, you don't necessarily
How
have to
would
get
you
on.
know?
If
How
you're
would
Prime
you-
Minister and Treasurer,
You
you
were
don't have to get on.
conspiring against Bill in February to take his job.
Hang on, listen, hang on. Let's talk about Malcolm Turnbull. He's in China at the moment. He's said something very controversial. AFL is the greatest footy code in the world. That's what he said.
It's our
We've got some
code.
footage of him playing. There's Malcolm in the Hawthorn jersey on.
Well, they've won three. They've
Well,
won three
that's
premierships.
unlikely.
They've won three premierships.
That's more
There he
unlikely.
is.
Yeah, he's very happy about that.
What do you say to that, Anthony?
Well, I say that I've seen Malcolm Turnbull at an AFL game.
Yeah.
He wasn't outside watching the game, he was inside having lunch. That's what he was doing, talking to
that's
people.
uncharitable.
He was
That's a
chatting to
low
people. He
blow.
missed the game,
Maybe
the
it was
grand final
lunchtime.
last year.
Yeah, I was there.
Maybe it was
Yeah.
lunchtime.
He was talking to me.
We're a happy team at Hawthorn last year.
Yeah, you were a happy team, no
That's
doubt.
part of their song.
Is
It
it
is.
Is it the best code?
We're a happy
Malcolm
team
would-
at Hawthorn.
Malcolm would
I'm
know
a
that.
Crows ambassador. I barrack for the Adelaide Crows. I'm an AFL team person, and I think it's a fabulous code. It's
A what?
great code.
You're a what?
I'm a team AFL person. It's a fabulous code. I've always
Malcolm
barracked
Turnbull
for
should.
the
AFL is a
Yeah.
great game, but
Yeah.
so is rugby league, which
Yeah.
is why you should fund Townsville Stadium.
Yeah, you should.
There's
fund
nothing
that.
wrong with rugby league, but
You-
I'm an AFL person.
You should fund the Townsville Stadium, by the way.
Yeah,
You've got some extra money. You got another. You got a tree out the back
Well,
as well.
you should
Along
fund
with
it.
Bill Shorten's got a money
He
tree
should
out the back
fund it.
too.
You'll be raising plenty of money with
He's
the
got,
tobacco
apparently,
tax.
Anthony's got more money than he can poke a stick at.
Malcolm Turnbull would fund the
Labour
North Queensland
strategy-
Cowboys, except he thinks it's a Rodeo.
Labor's strategy
Not
for
a
the next
footy team.
election is offer
Right. He
everybody
has
what
no
they
idea.
want.
You
Whatever people want,
you two are just
give them
starting
it to them.
You two are firing up, and have a great week.
Thank you.
I do think he might be obsessed with you, though.
I'm keen to believe it.
Okay, Lisa.
Isn't everyone?
He thinks about nothing else.
Lisa.
We're only human.